screen. Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the day four of Industry Inspire. Welcome to the day four of Industry Expo 2K20. Today we have Varun Sir here with us, and he's going to speak about the topic, what should be your next move and how can you learn a new skill. So it is all going to be about what you can say skill development, and it would really help you out if you want to master some skill or if you want to learn some new skill. What should you learn? What are the current trends in the market? So he's going to talk about that. And talking about Varun sir, he is the head of the academic alliances at CompTIA. So he's been working with CompTIA for over 10 years. He is in the certification business for 10 years, and he's been doing a lot for CompTIA and handling countries such as India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. And we are really excited to have him over today here with us to guide you through your career path. And it's a pleasure to have him. So without wasting further time, I'll just go over to Varun sir and let him introduce himself to all of you. So hello Varun sir. Good evening first of all. How are you?
Omkar, good evening. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. And I'm, to be honest, I'm really very excited to listen to this webinar which you are going to discuss about skill development, and it would really help me as well as the audience. We all are excited.
Sure. And I am looking forward to sharing some of the knowledge which I have, and hopefully, I mean, the next 30 35 minutes can be of some can be useful for the audience as well as for the entire team of Industry Inspired Talk. Uh, so, should I start, Omkar?
Yeah, sure, sir. We are waiting.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just share my screen and give me a quick moment. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the session organized by Industry Inspired Talk, and I think Omkar has already introduced me. Uh, uh, I manage the academic business for CompTIA in India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. And one of my key responsibilities is to foster IT skill development. And when Omkar approached me to host a session, I thought that, I mean, what better topic than to speak about learning a new skill or skill development. And I think, I mean, skill development has always been a prime focus for everyone. I mean, whether it's a student or it's a working professional. But what I feel uh, that after pandemic, I mean, after the COVID happened, right? I think, I mean, the buzzword around skill development has really shooted up, and a lot of people are really looking forward to learn new skills. And therefore, I thought that today I'm going to speak about your next move, which should be learning a new skill. Now, before I get into the nitty gritties of skill development, let me just start by telling you a story. This story is about a person. His name was Rajiv Singh, and he was working as a sales executive in one of the organizations. But one thing which Rajiv always wanted, or which always excited him, was digital marketing. But since his job role was about going out and meeting customers, he could not get enough opportunities within his organization to learn digital marketing. But what Rajiv did was that he enrolled himself in one of the courses, online courses, which teaches digital marketing. And every day after office, he used to spend couple of hours in learning digital marketing skills. So, and that happened like 2 years back. And over the last 2 years, he really practiced what he learned. And I'll not say that he became a pro, but then he got enough knowledge which he could actually share with others. So this was Rajiv's life until COVID happened. And because of this, Rajiv lost his job. Uh, and one of the reason Rajiv lost his job was because he was a sales guy and he was supposed to go out and meet customers. But then, unfortunately for Rajiv, his organization thought that because of the current business environment, uh, they don't need salespeople. I mean, that's pretty strange. So what did Rajiv do? So Rajiv actually started applying for new jobs, right? Uh, but this time around, there was one additional thing which Rajiv's resume had, and it was one additional skill. And guess what? It is because of this skill, Rajiv got a job, a new job as a digital marketing executive. Imagine if Rajiv would not have spent time in learning a new skill, right? Today, maybe Rajiv would have been jobless. But today, I mean, because he learned a new skill, he is not only doing something which he always wanted to, but he's also got a job, right? I mean, which he lost due to COVID. Another one, right? I mean, this is again about a student, and his name is Amit Kumar, and he was a BTech mechanical student. Um, so, what happened during the placement season that Amit could not get a job in a pure mechanical domain, right? I mean, you know how uh, the placement happens in our country, right? I mean, and due to certain reasons which were out of Amit's hand, Amit was unable to get any job, right, in mechanical domain. But you know what? One good thing which Amit did, and during his summer break, I think, I mean, which all students get, uh, is he actually enrolled himself in a data analytics course, right? Because I think, I mean, Amit always wanted to learn the emerging technologies, and I think, I mean, today data analytics is one of the most booming and upcoming field, and Amit enrolled himself in a data analytics course. What did this do for Amit? Actually, he was hired as a junior data analyst. Imagine if Amit would not have actually learned or enrolled himself in a data analytics course, right? I mean, which he actually did because he wanted to learn something new. I mean, today, I mean, Amit would not have been able to get a job. So, and the reason for sharing these two stories, right, I think, I mean, one about working professional and one about student, the point I'm trying to make over here is that, I mean, irrespective whether you are a student or you are a working professional, one of the uh, mm, critical thing in today's environment is that how skilled you are, or how many skills you are able to learn, and what do you bring on the table. And I think, I mean, both Amit and Rajiv uh, 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 showed us that, I mean, if you learn a skill, right, which is out of something which you are doing. For example, in Rajiv's case, he was a sales guy, and in case of Amit, he was a BTech mechanical, but they both stepped out of their comfort zone and learned something which they always wanted to, which also paid them well, right? At the end of the day, I mean, in both of the cases, they were able to get a job, which is one of the prime importance for anyone. Moving forward, right? I think, I mean, one common thing in both the cases was skills. I mean, they both made an effort to learn an additional skill, irrespective whether one is working in a particular domain, right? But how you can actually learn uh, other things which can help you will really differentiate you from your competitors, your peers, as well as when you're actually going out in the job market, right? I mean, today employers really look forward to see students who bring additional skills along with them. Uh, so let us talk about what is skill. I think, I mean, all of us at the back of our mind really know what a skill is, right? But if you really uh, get down to define what is skill, so this is a definition which I have taken from Indeed.com. Indeed.com is one of the biggest job portal, and what they how do they define skill is, skill is a term that encompasses the knowledge, competencies, and the ability to perform operational tasks. Skills are developed through life and work experience, and they can also be learned through study. And if you really categorize skills, right? I mean, as one of the studies categorize skills into three main buckets, right? One is the knowledge, right? I mean, as the name implies, I mean, this refers to the knowledge of a specific field. So, I mean, if you are, let's say, a person who knows Python as a language very well, right? I mean, that is something a knowledgeable skill, right? I mean, similarly, I mean, if you know how to repair a particular type of a brake in a particular car, which was there in 2002, I think, I mean, that is your knowledgeable skill. Second type of bucket is the self management skills. And self management skills is all about how do you do your work. Time management, for example, is a classic example that is a classic example of a self management skill. And the third type of bucket which you can actually categorize skills is transferable skills. I mean, these are the skills which you can actually use in multiple domains. So for example, leadership, right? Leadership skills can be applied in any industry, right? I mean, if you know how to manage a team, if you know how to manage an organization, right? I mean, you can definitely use those skills in irrespective of the industry or irrespective of the organization you're working. So these are basically the three type categories of skills, or three buckets of skills. Why it is important to learn a new skill? I think, I mean, lot of people would have different reasons to learn new skill, but what I understand from Omkar today is that, I mean, this uh, session is being organized to help students to know or to hear from the industry, right? About the thoughts, about their viewpoint, about the relevant topics which are there going on. And therefore, I mean, if I think from a student's or a working professional point of view, right? I mean, there's an interesting study which has been published last week by World Economic Forum. I don't know, I mean, how many of you know about World Economic Forum, but uh, the study which they have published is, and it's pretty astonishing to know that by 2025, which is like 5 years down the line, 50% of all the employees across the globe, right, would actually need to be reskilled, right? I mean, by 2025, I think, I mean, that's a huge number. And the bad news is that almost 85 million jobs may be displaced by a shift in the division of, let's say, labor, humans, and machine. Uh, and we already are seeing that, right? I think, I mean, today, I mean, with the new technologies, I think, I mean, a lot of jobs which are repetitive in nature can be easily done by machines. But hey, I mean, let's not get scared, right? I mean, whenever there is a bad news, I'm sure there is a good news also. And the good news is that I think more than the jobs that will get displaced due to this technological advancement and things which are happening, I think, I mean, more jobs would be created, right? 97 million new jobs may emerge, right? And when I say new jobs will emerge, these jobs would require people to have new skills, right? I mean, it would not, and therefore that is the reason why World Economic Forum thinks, and their study reveals that on almost 50% of the world's uh, workforce would be needing reskilling by 2025. So, what are the top 10 skills of 2025? Right? I mean, if I really, I mean, talk to some of the students today, and I'm thankful that in my job, right, I really get to talk to a lot of young students. I visit a lot of colleges, not anymore because of the COVID and colleges are closed. But then when I used to talk to students, they always used to talk about the technological skills, right? That I want to learn Java, I want to learn coding, especially with the Baijus and white hat juniors of the world. I think, I mean, a lot of focus has been given on the technological skills, right? But um, technological skills are only a one aspect, and if you actually see on your screen the top 10 skills of 2025, or what would be required in future, I think, I mean, analytical thinking and innovation, right? I mean, this is one of the most sought after skill which employers would look when they actually interview people. I mean, they would need people who can think out of the box. Of course, they would also need people with good technological skills, but then if you don't have good analytical skills, I mean, analytical thinking mindset, uh, employers might not be willing to hire you. I mean, they would rather hire a person who don't have the top technological skills or the top coding skills, but they would hire a person who has the best analytical thinking mind. And on your screen, I mean, this is again uh, report which has been published by World Economic Forum, which talks about the various skills which are required. And greater the adoption of technology will mean in-demand skills across jobs will change over next 5 years, and skill gaps will continue to be high. And as a student, I think, I mean, when we are there in the college preparing ourselves for the our future, right? I mean, I think, I mean, my advice and my recommendation would be that, I mean, just not focus on the textbook knowledge. Do widen your horizon, right? I mean, do try to learn things which are not there in your syllabus, right? Because these are the things which will actually help you out when you actually move into a job market. I think, I mean, I've stressed on this. Critical thinking and problem solving, I mean, top the list of the skills that employers believe. I think, and I'm actually feeling that this might not take 2025, right? I mean, this has already started happening. I mean, today, I think, I mean, with the kind of competition our country has and the kind of talent our country has, I think, I mean, employers are already giving a lot of emphasis on the skills which are unfortunately not taught in our education system, which are like critical thinking, problem solving, and um, uh, whoever is listening to today's broadcast, I think, I mean, one of my uh, biggest advice would be that, I mean, focus on these skills which have been mentioned here, apart from the technological skills which you really want to learn as well. Uh, I think, I mean, this has already started happening, and uh, if you see, lot of organizations. In fact, if I ask you that what is your dream company to work for, right? And you would actually say that Apple, Google, Netflix. I mean, right? I mean, these are the organizations which you really want to work for. I mean, these are like the dream organizations. Not for all, but yeah, for many people. I mean, people really aspire to work in these organizations, and um, these organizations have already done away with traditional degree. The In many of the countries, but in our country, I think, I mean, students still chase degrees. But if you see, I mean, as we move forward, right? I mean, degree is not a true representation of a skill set which a person possess, right? I mean, it can be a qualification, but it cannot actually demonstrate whether a person has the skill to perform a certain task. And uh, and there are organizations who have already realized it, right? I mean, there might be a student who might not have done very well in his graduation, but if he's able to, if he has skills, right, which can help the organization to accomplish certain tasks, the organizations have started exploring those options as well. I mean, and there are already many organizations which has taken the first step, and uh, I think, I mean, this will get adopted very soon, because like I mentioned in my previous slide, right, I mean, uh, organization, the skill gap is uh, is continuously getting wider and wider. And in fact, I mean, by 2023, I think some 600 million youth in this country, right, will be there in the job market, right, for ready for a job market. And you know what, the problem is not unemployment for them, the problem is unemployability for them, because they would not have the right skills to really go out and demonstrate and work for an organization and do well for themselves. So focus on skills, not on degrees. An interesting survey which I did, I mean, before coming on to this session, right, I mean, I did a quick survey. I launched a poll within my network only, to understand what is people's thought about skills and skill learning. And two questions which I asked, one was that how important is it to learn new skill. I think, I mean, if you see, I mean, 70% of the people actually responded that, I mean, they really think that learning a skill is very important. But there is a good 28% also who feel that, I mean, it also depends upon personal motivation. So I have a point for this later on in my presentation. But then, yeah, I mean, it's I think, I mean, I'm not the only one who thinks that the skill, learning a skill is very important. It is, I think people have now started realizing the fact that if learning a skill is very important. uh, the other thing which I asked them, and it was just a very close survey, so I mean, I did not did it on, let's say, on social networks. I just did it within my friend circle, and I'm happy that, I mean, I did it today, and I uh, got some 64 responses. But even out of that, I think, I mean, uh, uh, almost 53%. I mean, so the question was, what is more important, degree or skills? And if you see, I mean, none of the people have voted for degrees, right? Some 53% people have actually voted for both. They feel that, I mean, degree and skills are both important. But however, 46, I mean, almost 47% people also feel that skills are really important than degrees. So again, I think, I mean, slowly and steadily, we are seeing a huge uh, mindset change happening, wherein people are not really giving importance to degrees anymore. I mean, they are more willing to give importance to skills, what and how those skills can really help people to lead a better life or do a better job is something, is a bigger question these days.
Hello,
uh,
Saurabh.
yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
just like we'll pause for a few minutes. We'll take some questions and then we'll start again. Is that okay with you? Because we have questions in the comment in the chat, in the live chat.
Okay, so do you want me to stop sharing and see the questions?
No, no. Keep the screen. We'll like first ask few questions and then we can start again. If that's okay with you.
Okay, so yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so what is the question?
Yeah. So there is a question from Sushil Yadav. He's asking, is there a fastest way to learn any skill?
uh, I think, I mean, it all depends upon what kind of skill you really want to learn, right? And later on in my presentation, I have a few slides, right, which really helps you to uh, 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 really break down what skills you want to learn and how much time it will take you to learn those skills. I mean, again, it's also depends upon your personal motivation and personal finances, right? I think, I mean, certain skills, for example, if you really want to learn how to do first aid at home, right? I mean, that can be learned by reading few chapters online, right? But if you really want to learn horse riding, right, that would require you to spend money, go out, right? So again, is there a what is the fastest way to learn a skill? Again, it will depend upon what kind of skill you want to learn. That's the first and foremost question which you need to answer, and then I think, I mean, you really need to find a way through which you can actually acquire that skill. One advice is that I think, I mean, once you make a decision to learn a new skill, it is very important that you put in the time. And what I have seen uh, 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 with people around me is that, I mean, people do get carried away and they say that, okay, I want to learn a new skill, right? I mean, because one of their friends are learning it, but then they are not able to devote the time. So I mean, I think, I mean, uh, uh, there are certain questions which you need to answer yourself before you first decide what skill you want to learn, and then you need to have a action plan in place. Otherwise, I think, I mean, um, uh, uh, you can be one of those people, like, you see, I mean, after COVID, a lot of people started posting on LinkedIn that I have completed this course, I have completed that course. uh, so that can be the fastest way, wherein you can just keep on fast forwarding the recorded lectures. Or the other way is that, I mean, you really plan diligently, in which you also uh, practice those skills and have a clear action plan in place. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other
Sushil, I
question?
hope, yeah. Sushil, I hope that your question is answered. And we have a comment from Igwe Franklin is saying, "Thank you so much, sir, for that submission. Focus on skills and not degree." Awesome. So that comment of yours, like you mentioned, it really motivated him because uh, in today's day and age, it's very important to learn a skill and not just depend on a degree. Degree is just what you can say an entrance criteria for some companies and stuff like that. But the skills will take you ahead. It would take you one step further towards your dreams. Is that what you mean, sir?
Oh, absolutely. I think, I mean, see, I mean, it's no brainer. You might have the best of degrees from the best of colleges, right? But then, if you're not able to go out and demonstrate what you have learned, right? I mean, or you're not able to apply that knowledge, I think, I mean, it is of no use. And rather, I think, I mean, like I said, that some of the bigger organizations have already started talking about evaluating people on the basis of skills rather than degree, because a degree is not a true representation of the knowledge which a person has. I mean, the kind of learning methodology which I mean, especially the Indian education system has, and I openly call it as a rote learning, wherein people just memorize lessons. I think, I mean, that is not a real way in which you can really demonstrate what you're learning, right?
Yes,
And or and organizations, and the bigger organizations, the tech giants
yes,
of the world already know that. So
yeah.
um, yeah.
I completely agree with you, Varun sir, what you just said. And this advice, this specific advice, thanks for asking that question, Sushil and Igwe Franklin, for the nice comment. So it would really help out the audience because degree is not the only thing. Even big companies like Amazon, Facebook, they don't recruit people who have degrees. Okay, they recruit people who are good at that specific skill and who is what you can say fit for that specific job role, and he can as far as he can do that specific job without a degree, it doesn't make any impact. It doesn't what you can say. It doesn't matter. Okay, so it's all based on your skill sets and all the caliber which you have and the things you need to do in life. Okay, and we have a next question from Sushil. He's asking how, like you mentioned, Varun sir, you mentioned 10 skills. He's asking how to develop all the 10 skills you mentioned.
how to develop all the 10 skills, right? I mean, interesting question. Again, I think, I mean, you can't, let me just go back and check the
Yes,
skills.
yes, sure, sure,
Uh,
sure.
yeah. So I think we were here. And if we go back, I think, I mean, if you see these skills, right? I mean, a lot of these are, I mean, apart from the technological skills, right? I think, I mean, if you really talk about analytical thinking and innovation, right? And if you talk about leadership, right? I mean, analytical thinking will be a part of the leadership skills as well, right? So, I mean, a lot of these skills are interconnected, right? But again, I mean, you really need to plan. Like I said, I mean, you really need to first focus on, let's say I want to develop my uh, leadership skills, right? So how do you develop your leadership skills? So you start taking on certain challenges, you start taking certain responsibilities, and you try exercising your leadership skills over there. And during that course of time, you will also get opportunity to also use your analytical thinking and creativity thing. So for example, if let's say you are a student and you are managing a group of and you have a group which is tasked to do certain things, and like what Omkar is doing right now, I think, I mean, he's an excellent example wherein he's not only demonstrating a leadership skill, right, but he's also demonstrating creativity, analytical thinking, right? And I'm sure Omkar would have learned it more from a job on the job experience, right, Omkar? Am I right? I mean, this is something which not the textbook has taught you, right? I mean, this is something which
Yes, yes,
you've learned
definitely.
by practicing
Yes.
it, right? So
Yeah, all that I've learned is all based on the self learning which I've done, and nobody taught me these things. I have to learn it selfly. So nobody was there to guide me. I had content. I had to not rote learn it, but to actually what you can say understand it, and how can I implement it in the real world. So that is the what you can say the perspective I'm having whenever I'm learning a skill. I'm not just mugging it up. I am actually learning about the areas where it can be what you can say it can be applied, and how can we leverage it in order to give out the desired product.
absolutely, and I think, I mean, very rightly put. And just to add on to that, Sushil, is that, I mean, see, I mean, if you say that, okay, what are the 10 books you will recommend me to get all these skills? I mean, there are tons and tons of books, right? I mean, you Google it and you'll be able to get books on analytical thinking, creativity. Even if you read those books, right? I mean, the critical point is that how do you apply that knowledge? Because if you're not practicing what you have learned, right? I mean, you will not eh, you will never be able to call yourself skilled person, right? I mean, you'll never be able to say that, okay, yeah, I know this skill, because you'll always be underconfident. Theoretical knowledge is good, right? But the practical application of that knowledge is something which is very much important. And therefore, uh, what I'll say is that, I mean, pick something which really excites you, and start applying that. And then you will realize that as you're practicing a particular skill, you will also get opportunity to use the other kind of skills as well. So yeah. So Umka,
Yes,
is there any other
sir.
question, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, you should go ahead. I'll ask the remaining questions later in the Q&A, so we can proceed with the PPT. We can start.
Excellent. So where were we? So I think, I mean, Sushil, this was a question. I think, I mean, someone asked that, is there a fastest way to learn a skill? And again, this is as per the research which has been done by Coursera. I think, I mean, all of you know about Coursera and World Economic Forum. And as per the data they have in their systems, this is what they feel that, I mean, people would take 1 to 2 months to learn skills like culture, content writing skills, and sales and marketing skills. They would require 2 to 3 months for product development, data, AI, and it will take 4 to 5 months for someone to actually master skills like cloud computing and engineering skills, right? But I think, I mean, I don't plan to differ from them, right? I mean, they have they're big organizations, and I'm sure they have enough data points to prove this, right? But my only caveat over here is that uh, every individual is different, right? I mean, you can the computer can actually tell you that okay, it would take 2 months, right, for you to learn it, but then it also depends upon a lot of parameters, factors, the environmental conditions around us, right? And our, of course, our personal motivation, which is the critical differentiating factor, or which is a key factor which really helps you in learning a particular skill. So I mean, though I mean, this is something good for reference, but then I mean, this cannot be, I think, a writing on the rock. This can change for individual, from individual to individual. But yeah, I mean, if you go by this, I mean, this can be a good way to have a goal in place that hey, people take 1 to 2 months to learn marketing skills, right? So I should not be taking more than 2 months to learn marketing skills, right? I mean, this is one way of using this data, but yeah, I mean, good as a point of reference. So the critical question is that how do I choose what skills I want to learn, right? This is a bigger question, I think. I mean, uh, as I speak, right? I mean, and as you saw that top 20, top 10 skills of 2025, right? I mean, uh, one of the critical question which came in was that how do I learn all the skills, or if I twist the question would become that how do I choose, right? I mean, what skill I want to learn, right? I mean, this is a bigger question. So before answering that, I think, I mean, I'll first talk about the 5 benefits of learning new skills, okay? And probably then we will be in a better position to answer why or what skill we should be learning, right? So what are the top 5 benefits of learning skills, right? So I think, I mean, it really looks great on your resume. I mean, having a broad range of skills, especially technological skills, right? I mean, in this era of emerging technologies, right? I mean, 21st century, it would really uh, shine your resume, right? I mean, having skills on your resume really sets you apart, right? I mean, imagine, I mean, if you already have a base knowledge of the programs for a job which you are planning to apply, I think, I mean, you'll always have a competitive edge. I mean, your resume would always shine. Your resume will always get filtered out, right? And you know that today, I mean, everything works on algorithm. And that's how computers are finding resumes online. That's how even LinkedIn search work. I think, I mean, all of you would be very much active on LinkedIn. But yeah, I mean, having skills on your resume, uh, not just for the sake of having, but I mean, real skills which you have learned would really make you apart. And even if you're in a job which you really love, right? But that doesn't mean that you can really sit idle. Remember the story of Raji, who was a sales manager, but then learned digital marketing, and then he got a job. So I think, I mean, it's always good to keep learning new skills, because your resume is the first thing which people would see, and if you have enough skills, I think that would really help you. The second is, I think, I mean, you'll always also make new friends. The world today, we live in a connected world, right? I mean, and one of the things which I've learned over the last 14 years of my experience in IT industry, or irrespective of my industry, I think, I mean, uh, what really sets you apart is the kind of network which you have. I think, I mean, Omkar would relate to it, that I mean, the better network you have, I think, I mean, better are your chances that I mean, you might be able to showcase what you really want to, or you might be able to get a job, because I mean, if your network can always recommend you, I mean, you might have the brilliant of idea, right? But what if no one comes to know about that idea, right? I mean, and your network of friends, your peers, definitely helps you in a lot of ways. I mean, I I see a lot of people, right? I mean, they have a good network of friends, and when I ask them that, hey, I mean, how do you have so many friends? So they always tell me one thing. You know what? I we met during a dance class, or I met these people during a course which I enrolled for. So I think, I mean, this learning a new skill will always make you meet new people. You'll always increase your network or enlarge your network, which will always help you only, even if you're learning from home, right? I mean, even if you're learning from home, research about the local meetups, the events happening in your area, right? I mean, for example, the creative workshops on LinkedIn, or there are enough workshops which are happening. I mean, you can always be a part of them, and you can actually, I mean, make meet new people, and then you will always have something common to talk, discuss, and that will always increase your knowledge as well. So I think, I mean, this is another great benefit of learning new skill. Uh, you can pursue a childhood dream. I think, I mean, uh, I mean, I wanted to be someone else when I was a child, right? I mean, and but then because of various reasons, right? I mean, I have to do something. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'll not say that I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of others, right? I mean, who really dreamt of becoming something, but then because of their family pressure, societal pressure, the responsibilities they have, right? I mean, they were just not able to pursue their childhood dream, right? I mean, for example, I mean, as a as a as a child, you always wanted to play a guitar, correct? And but then somehow, I mean, the pressure was to get into the best of college, the best of and get a best of job, right? But then whenever you still hear someone playing guitar, I think, I mean, that's something really strikes the chord in your heart and your mind. And I think, I mean, that's a big enough reason. And today, I think, I mean, uh, we are fortunate that a lot of us can really think about following our childhood dreams, right? And so, if you had a ever had a childhood dream, right? I mean, for example, if you, I other day I met someone, right? I mean, who said that, you know what, he's actually helping a local animal shelter, right? I mean, he's associated with one of the organizations, right, which takes care of the stray dogs, right? And I asked him, I mean, he's one of my friends, and I asked him that, hey, what are you doing here? And he said, you know what, Varun, I mean, this is my childhood dream. I said, what, you're working as a manager in a bank, and this was your childhood dream? He said, yes, I mean, I wanted to be a animal doctor, because he really loves animal. But because, I mean, his family thought that animal doctor doesn't have any great career prospects, so he's currently working in a bank. But then the reason why he's now working and doing this volunteering work with a local organization is because he always wanted to pursue his childhood dream. So if you have a childhood dream, if, I mean, if you have if you have anything which you thought that you wanted to do when you were a child, right? I mean, I think, I mean, today, right now is the best time, right? I mean, uh, there is never there's never going to come a time when you'll say that, okay, now is the best time to do something. I think, I mean, it is right now. I mean, we have all the opportunities right now, and I mean, just go ahead and follow your childhood dream. I think, I mean, this is again, whenever you start learning new skills, right? I mean, you also find there are chances that you might find a new passion. I think, I mean, once you get out of your uh, school, right, or you pass your teenage, right? I mean, a lot of time, I mean, I think, I mean, a lot of us feels that, I mean, we are really an imposter for ourselves, right? I mean, especially when we are hanging out with our friends. I think one of the ways to really break that rut is that, I mean, add something new, right, and exciting to shake up your routine. A fun way to get out of this is learning a new skill, right? And who knows that, I mean, you might uh, find your next passion in that, right? And it can also boost your self-esteem. See, I mean, whenever you learn something, right? I mean, one thing which I really feel and believe is that it always uh, boost your confidence, it boosts your self-esteem, and learning a new skill will help you know a passion, right, which you earlier never realized that, okay, I'm passionate about cooking, right? I mean, you never realize. So the point I'm trying to make is that you will never realize what are you passionate about till the time you start trying doing those things, or till the time you start learning those things, right? Be fearless and learn as much as you can. And the last point is, it can make you more independent. I mean, of course, I mean, when you learn skills, it does make you more independent, it does make you more confident, it does give you a boost in your self esteem. And I'm not saying that, I mean, you stop calling for any emergency situation, you stop calling your family and friends. I think, I mean, that's not what the point is. The point is that when you start learning new skills, it can really make you uh, confident and self independent. And if at all you are confused that where do I start, I think, I mean, start learning skills which makes you more independent. For example, are you dependent for food because someone has to cook for you? Why not learn cooking, right? Or are you dependent upon, let's say, your friend to come and install a particular software? Why don't you learn yourself, right? So I think, I mean, learning a skill can make you independent. And now, what I would request is that, I mean, take a step back, right, and think the five reasons or the five benefits which I've mentioned, right? I mean, which is the reason which really challenges you and really tells you that, okay, this is the reason I want to learn a skill, because it will look great on my resume, or it will help me be more independent, or I had a childhood dream. I think, I mean, once you're able to figure this, it will be much more easier for you to find that what skills you really want to learn now. So, but one thing which I also want to mention over here is that I think, I mean, you also need to focus, keep in mind your financial aspects, as well as the time which you're able to devote. Because, like I mentioned, right, certain skills will be free and can be acquired. I'll not say cheaply. Cheaply is the wrong word, but it will not require you to spend a lot of money, right? But then, learning a skill which requires a lot of money, I think, I mean, you really need to first make a plan and understand whether you have the resources or not, because um, we don't want to get demotivated, right? I mean, if you really want to learn a skill, uh, but at this point of time you don't have the financial resources, I think, don't just stop learning anything. I mean, find something else, and once you have the right kind of resources, you can always learn a skill which you want to. And second thing is time. Don't start something if you're not able to give a time, right? I mean, I think learning anything would require your time. I see so many people who gets uh, 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 motivated by their friends joining certain classes, and then these people also, I mean, I tell you a very classic example. I see my friends, right? I mean, whenever um, there's summer holidays which is coming, I see a lot of people joining gym, right? I mean, early in the morning I can see a lot of people coming and hitting the gym. And as weeks pass, right, I mean, the all the excitement fizzle out, and I mean, people stop coming to the gym anymore because they think that they don't have the time. So again, I mean, think about the financial, think about the time, and then take a well thought of decision. I think we are almost on time. We have the last slide which I have is a thought for you people who is listening today, that always remember one thing, that every man is the architect of his own future. I think no one else can decide your future. There can be circumstances, but then uh, uh, you are the one who can really write your future and decide where do you want to go. And I mean, uh, your success will definitely be dependent upon how skillful you are. Of course, I mean there would be other parameters as well, but then uh, keep learning new skills, because this is something which will take you places, right? And other thing which I really want to during the end of the session, which I really want to mention, is that COVID-19 situation has taken away jobs from people, but it has not taken away skills from people, right? I mean, people who are skilled don't have any problems, right? People who are not having the skills, right, are having the real problem, right? So I think, I mean, in the future also there would be certain situations like we have COVID right now. In future, you never know. I mean, what kind of new virus can come out of China or any other country, or I don't know. But then, if you have the skills, you will be able to overcome the situation in a much more easy manner than not being skilled, right? And so my advice is, your next move, think about a skill which you really want to learn and start putting in an effort to learn that skill, right? I mean, just don't focus on learning, getting degrees and certificates and course completion certificates. Come on, guys. I mean, everyone knows, yeah. I mean, how does people really complete these courses, right? I mean, they just put on the video and just keep on putting forward, forward, forward. That's, please don't get into that rat race. I mean, if you are really passionate about learning something, give your heart out, and I'm sure, I mean, this will help you out in the future. With this, I'll end my presentation and I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll open it up for questions. I hope it was a good
Thank,
section for everyone.
yeah, yeah.
And
Thank you so much, sir, for this session. It would really help out the audience. And to be honest, I really learned a lot out of it, because whatever things you covered, I had a knowledge about it, but I was not thoroughly, what you can say, knowledgeable about the things you said. But it helped me as a professional, as a student, to learn something, and it is very good thought to learn a new skill every day. Okay, so we are in our day-to-day life, if you can see, just like you mentioned, cooking. Okay, so one must know how to cook. Okay, like irrespective of the gender we must know that skill. Okay, and those skills like we learn in day-to-day life, and we should always keep learning, and what you can say, keep sharing what we learn, just like you are doing right now. And thank you so much, sir, for this session. And I want to take the questions right now. Okay, so there is a question from Surya. He's asking, which are the top skills slash languages that are demand nowadays and in future?
uh, what is, I think, I mean, I showed top 10 skills, right? I don't know, I mean, Surya, if you saw that slide, but when you talk about languages, are you talking about programming languages, or you are talking about the languages which we speak? What languages you're talking about? I mean, if, I mean, just to answer, I think, I mean,
Yeah, sir.
uh,
Yeah, to be specific, he's asking about programming languages.
I think, I mean, the Python is there, Java is there. I don't have a lot of knowledge about the programming, the computer languages, but I mean, what I read is that, I mean, there are a lot of new age languages like Python and Ruby and all these languages which are in demand. So I think, I mean, if you'll Google it, you'll get to know that. I mean, for example, let's do it live, right? I mean, to answer Surya's question, right? Let me uh,
Yeah,
share. Can I share my screen as well? Yeah, just hold on. Yeah. So
yeah, sure.
if you go, if you go to Google, Surya, and let's say top programming languages 2020, right? So I think I was right. I think, I mean, Python is the number one. Then we have Swift, TypeScript. Again, I mean, depends where you really, what really excites you, right? I mean, people would say that, okay, I mean, certain languages are not in demand right anymore, but I mean, think about it. I mean, what I understand is that certain languages are really easy to learn, certain languages are very difficult to learn, certain languages are very much in demand. For example, I think Python, uh, 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 right now, is one of the most sought after programming languages, right? I mean, you talk. I mean, when you talk about Swift, Swift is again, I think for mobile apps, it is very much there. Kotlin is, I think, for Android apps. So, I mean, I do this research, and you'll be able to figure it out. I mean, you read few articles, and you'll be able to answer this question yourself, right? I mean, what are the top lab programming languages which are in demand?
Yeah, sure, sir. I asked, like, whenever you, like, when you talked about the best skill on the stack. So I asked the audience about it. So they commented, "What's your best skill?" And Igwan said acting and writing. Then we have a comment from Sushil. He's saying coordination and critical thinking. So these are the skills they have. Rutuja replied, problem solving skills. So these are the, like, what people have skills in demand, like what they have basically skills they have right
Excellent,
now. So they commented it.
excellent. So, I mean, the advice is that
Yeah.
if you think you have certain skills, I mean, start applying those skills. This is very important. I mean, take peer review, ask your friends to review uh, uh, your skills, right? I mean, I mean, uh, I might think that I am the next Albert Einstein, right? But is there anyone who can tell me that, I mean, whether I have the knowledge or not, right? I mean, self evaluation is very much important, but I believe that peer evaluation is also very much important. And I think, I mean, start you if you think that you have these skills, start using them, and always ask for review, always ask for feedback, right? I mean, because you need to continuously improve, right? One of the best way to improve your skills is to continuously learning new things, continuously learning, adding new layers, and set goals, right? I mean, for example, let's say I want to learn programming language, let's say Python. So I'm sure Python would also have different levels, right? I mean, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So accordingly, I think, I mean, in any skill, right? I mean, critical thinking, uh, there would be different ways through which you can actually apply critical thinking, or what are the various levels of critical thinking. I mean, so start having these goals and start using your skills, and then also ask for reviews from your friends, your family, and then I think, I mean, continuously keep on improving those skills.
Thank you so much, sir, and that would really help out the audience. So we'll take out the question. We'll take this last question from Sushil. He's asking, having a entrepreneur mindset than job mindset, is it a fastest way to learn a new skill? So he's basically asking, if you go by the entrepreneur mindset and like the, what you can say, the job mindset. So if we have both these things, if say I'm going by the entrepreneur mindset, will I be able to learn that skill more efficiently, or going from the job mindset kind of a thing, like it would help me more?
No, I think there is no research which has been done to prove either of them. But what I can say is that, I mean, see, I mean, uh, uh, no two people are equal, right? I mean, for someone starting up his own company uh, would excite him a lot, but for someone working for a big organization would excite him a lot, right? Now, both have their own set of challenges, and they both have require their own kind of learnings and skill set. For example, I mean, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, there have to be certain kind of skills which you really need to master at, so that you are successful at your venture, right? But that doesn't mean that if you're working in an organization, right? I mean, you don't have to be skillful. I mean, both will give you enough opportunities to keep learning new skills. uh, and I think, I mean, it all depends upon an individual to individual, right? I mean, I've seen entrepreneurs who start a company but then uh, don't take those steps, right, which really has to be taken to learn, to apply. And I've seen people working in companies who just feel that it's a 9 to 5 job, and if they're supposed to just come and do a certain task, they'll do a task. I think, I mean, irrespective whether it's a job, it's a entrepreneurship, I think, I mean, it both environment requires you to learn skills, and depends upon the individual that, I mean, how eager he or she is to learn those skills to perform well. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not good in your entrepreneurship journey, right? I mean, your company will never get scaled up. Similarly, if you're not good in certain skills which your job requires or which your organization requires, you'll be out of your job, right? I mean, so I think, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that, I mean, you really need to do a self evaluation where you want to go, and then, I mean, keep learning skills which will help you out.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And yeah, so I completely agree with you. So we have a question from Julia Maris. She's asking, you think determination is important in entrepreneurship? I mean, to say willpower. Okay. So
See,
please
I mean,
let me know this.
yeah, I think, I mean, it's a wrong way to say that determination is important for entrepreneurship, right? I don't agree with that statement. The statement would I would say is that determination is required for everything in this world, right? I mean, for example, uh, I, if you want to, let's say, I have a 2-year old daughter, right? I mean, and it requires a lot of determination to give, I mean, really, I mean, give her the kind of things, and caring which really needs from parents to really bring a child up, right? Similarly, I mean, if you're really willing to start a company would be your child, right? I mean, it would require you to have a lot of determination, because it will be your baby. And even if, let's say, I mean, you want to be the next Virat Kohli. If you don't, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if you don't know about Virat Kohli is one of the, he's the Indian cricket captain. So I think, I mean, you have to have the determination to be where you really want to be, and irrespective whether it's an entrepreneurship, or it's a sportsmanship, or it's like working for an organization, or even, like, for example, raising a child, right? I mean, everything requires determination. Without determination, I think, I mean, you'll, like an example I gave, I mean, you have people come, I mean, in every summer break, you have people who just enroll, who just take gym membership, and they will come for a week and two, and then it will not dizzle out, right? And but then certain people who are determined to, let's say, lose weight or build some muscles, they will keep coming back again and again and again. So that requires a lot of determination.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir, and I hope, Julia, your question is answered. And like, I hope that this session really helped you guys interacting with Varun sir. And I am very much excited. Like, I learned a lot of new things out of this session, out of this 1 hour we shared with the audience. I hope that the audience must have also learned some new things from out of it. And like my takeaways from it is like, if I even if I want to learn a skill, I know how to like implement it. I need to know the real world implementation of it. And if I'm learning a skill, I must be or determinate enough towards it, because like without determination, like nothing is impossible. But without determination, you can't achieve it. You need to have determination, you need to have that motivation, and you should aspire to become like someone in order to like what kind of skills they are learning. You have to just like you shared the example with the digital marketing guy. Okay, so he was jobless, but he learned few skills and he got a job. Okay, just like in digital marketing. So it really helps you out, like learning new skills which also upgrade yourself. It would also, what you can say, give you the trending skills which are right now in the market, and it would also benefit you, because a lot of, just like you said, in 2025 there would be a lot of jobs that would be available, and we need to reskill. Okay, and that is the thing we need to do. We need to start from today itself to building that skill, to what you can say, mastering it, and like literally applying it into the job market. And yeah, and with this we end with the session. And like I have a lot of people which are actually thanking you. Okay, so there is a comment from Julia. She's saying thank you for taking my query, sir. Sushil also said thank you for sharing your perspective, Varun sir. Rutuja is saying thank you, Varun sir and Industry Inspired of. So thank you so much to each and everyone who have attended this session, and like felt motivated, felt inspired, and learned something out of it. And like I want to once again thank you, Varun sir, for making your presence, taking time from your busy schedule and delivering a talk on skill development. It would like it was a pleasure to have you as our day four speaker, and thank you for doing this thing.
Excellent. I think, thank you for having me here on this platform. And I'm happy that, if I was able to share and ignite some thoughts in your mind. And I wish all the best to Industry Inspire Talks, to Umkar Shinde and his team. I think, you guys have a wonderful vision, and maybe this would, as you do a lot of these sessions, there would be a lot of people who will come across new things, new topics, right? And one of the things which I really always believe is that, we need to democratize the education system, right? Education is should not be only for those who can actually afford, right? It should be available, and a quality education should be available. So I think, this initiative of Omkar Shinde and Industry Inspired Talk, hopefully, it can educate people, and give them a new perspective about how do they want to move forward in life, right? With that, thank you
Yes,
very much, and I wish everyone all the best who attended today's session. Thank you.
yeah, and hello, sir, you there?
Yes, yes, I'm there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So to everyone who was watching, I have dropped the link to Varun sir's LinkedIn profile. So make sure do connect with him on LinkedIn. Whenever he's free, he's able to, like, if you need any assistance, if you need any help, he's also working with CompTIA, who, what you can say, provides cybersecurity certifications to actual professionals. So they have a lot, tons of CompTIA like cybersecurity certifications which they provide, which actually are needed for a person to make his career in cybersecurity. So please do check out CompTIA's page and do visit Sir's profile. Do connect with him, and also make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and also join the fam. We do such events, we do such webinars every week just for you to make you industry ready. And just giving you an update about tomorrow's session, and we wrap up. Tomorrow's session, it is going to be the last day of Industry Expo 2K20, sadly, but it is going to be taken by Shauhardya De. So he is an Indian author. So if you want to know more about him, you can check out on our LinkedIn page. Go and check it out. So he's going to speak about the varied aspects of Indian publishing industry. So it is going to be a webinar from an author's perspective. So make sure you learn something new, something innovative tomorrow as well. So make sure to join with the same motivation, same enthusiastic attitude to learn something. And yeah, and until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep inspiring. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll meet you tomorrow.
Thank you.